As discussed previously, like you might have been doing courses from us, like combo courses like F5 LTM plus Palo Alto. So this one is for those who have done Palo Alto, like this batch is for those. Plus, if you want to do F5 first. So in this exam or this topics, we'll be covering all the topics related to load balancer. So when I talk about LTM module, LTM is totally your load balancer. Like I will tell you the background, but it is called local traffic manager. So even you go to any interview in any company or anywhere, whether you're working on cloud, people are still using F5 as a product. If you are into routing switching background, if you are in security, you can search on naukri.com, and you can also see that even nowadays people are asking for hybrid approach. So that's why I always suggest to be good in one of the load balancer technology. Like for network background and security, LTM is important. But if you are from security, then we have another product called WAF. For that, right now I will not start, but there will be next batch after this where I'll be covering the security module, which is in high demand. Nowadays, every cybersecurity companies require that type of approach where they ask for an engineer. And I get lot of calls, guys. I'll be making it interactive today rather than a demo or webinar. I'll be teaching, like you might be finding my videos on YouTube, but we will talk little bit on the market demand, how market is demanding now. So you should be good in at least two firewalls nowadays. Plus load balancer. Either I would suggest F5. Why F5? I will suggest you. Third one, you need to be good in cloud concepts. Either it's AWS or Azure. That is mandatory skills nowadays in every company. Even you will get projects like you have to deploy F5, you have to deploy Palo Alto on cloud. It's the same concept, but you need to know what does cloud means. And after that, now you need to be little bit also good in cyber security. Lot of cybersecurity attacks are coming into picture, and here we have a product called WAF. We have application security also, like people might heard about CEH. That is basic, everyone is doing it. But if you see, always search by the market value, like which product is more in demand. Nowadays people say that checkpoint is very less in market. I have seen Palo Alto and FortiGate everywhere, and that is correct. Even in cloud, there might be working professional from this demo. You can get experience. Plus, guys, we'll be teaching in such a way that I'll be doing the labs plus practicals in such a way that you can clear any interview. That is the guarantee. Plus, you can reach out to me 7 to 8, Monday to Friday for any support if you have any doubts. So, this is the career guidance which I always suggest when I start any demo or webinar, like how beneficial nowadays with routing switching. See, routing switching is a skill that is basic, you should know, but for that you also need to start other security modules, load balancer, which will be heavily demanding on today's market. Trust me, if you're good, you will get good market, good value. Okay, so if I talk about, guys, this webinar or this demo, we'll be starting live batch from next week, and it's a weekend class, Saturday and Sunday. But next weekend I'll be starting from 3rd of December, and timings will be morning 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. In morning, I'll be delivering the session. Plus, you will get a separate WhatsApp group where you will be getting Zoom invite, and that group will be for lifetime. It depends how that group is beneficial. Like if you want to be good in marketing, like if you want to be, if you get a good job, you can refer others also. That is welcome. We never say no that if you have an opening in any company, you can refer that. Nowadays, guys, Reference is important, plus work hard. That are the two things. When you get more experience, reference plus hard work plus hybrid skill. I will always say that now a person who has an hybrid skill. So yesterday one person came in, I want to get good job in 2 months within F5. I said that F5 will work, but you need to be good in hybrid technology. Directly I told, not for money or something. If I am teaching, I would say that do F5 LTM and you will get a job. No, it's an extra skill which you can add, but you have to do other skills also. You will be getting recorded videos for every class, guys, and you can watch Monday to Friday, plus you can call us. Also, guys, if you want any, let's say you have an interview, but you have to tell me 4 to 5 days in advance. If you tell me 1 day or 2 days, sometimes I might not be available. You can tell, in that case, I will tell you what videos you can refer. Plus, if you have any doubt, you can ask me, you can call me. Plus, you will be getting certificate for completion after the training, like you have done the training from SIANETS. So this was about the facilities which we provide. Across other things what will beneficial on the product and what is the product all about. So course content, I will show you the course content also which we will be delivering. So total course content, course agenda would be around 12 modules, guys, which will be covering. And it is total on local traffic manager, which is an F5 technology. So I will tell you the background how F5 started its marketing and how F5 came into product, why it's more in demand than other. You might heard about Citrix load balancer. You might heard about NetScaler, which is a part of Citrix, Redware. But most of the time, when I go to Naukri.com or when I search for any product, you will find F5 is in huge demand. First advantage is documentation and training. You can find easy documents related to any concept. Let's say if you want to see related to architecture, you will get many videos. Plus, second beneficial is license is free of cost. You can do any labs free of cost without paying to F5. That is the second advantage. Whenever you want to practice anything, let's say you want to upgrade your F5, you want to do any migration, in that case, just spin up your F5 on VMware and start doing the lab. Same way like I have set up, I'll showing you. You only require maximum if you have a good laptop, new laptop, then 8 GB is enough for F5 lab. If you have an old laptop or old processor, then you should have 16 GB lab. And we'll be doing labs on VMware environment. Plus, I'll be sharing you different topology related to organization, like how in organization, how F5 is deployed with firewalls. So everyone, whenever you go to any interview, some people come to me saying that, sir, I don't have any experience, but people are asking for F5 experience also. That I will tell you how you can show that. If you do all the labs, trust me, guys, if you practice, you can tell them that you have been working from 4 to 5 years in F5 technology. See, no one, every 2 years or 3 years, some technologies are changing, right? You cannot study. You need to be good in some concept. I say that hybrid technology is in demand, but you need to be good in some skills, right? If I say I'm good in Palo Alto, if I say I'm good in F5, you need to be expert level. So when I talk about F5, guys, F5 is a US based company. Okay. It has a product called load balancer that everyone knows, but F5 has different modules. which it has been categorized. First module is LTM. Second module is GTM. Third is WAF. And fourth is APM. So F5 is not a load balancer. That is the wrong assumption which everyone has. That's why they don't get selected in an interview. When I talk about load balancer, guys, this product provides a load balancer features that is called local traffic manager. So once I tell you the full form, there is a logic why it is called local traffic manager, and I will be showing you the deployment strategy and scenario. GTM. GTM is totally called intelligent DNS solution. That is called global traffic manager. That deals with your intelligent DNS resolution. Let's say you have a website that is deployed in US data center and someone is coming from UK data center or someone is coming from Australia data center. They want to access this website or this application hosted on US data center. So in that case, there will be some latency. So what can GTM can do is this is called global. You can load balance your application globally. If you're sitting in US, you can go to US data center. If you're sitting in UK, your application will be hosted in UK data center. That is called GTM, Intelligent DNS Resolution, guys. That will really help you in getting your concepts clear. Another very important concept nowadays coming into picture is cyber security, which is called F5 WAF. If I talk about WAF, guys, WAF is nothing but web application firewall. Someone will say that Palo Alto is also an web application firewall. Why I need an F5? So F5 has a product that is called Advanced Web Application Firewall. Or you will heard about this term many times. It's called Application Security Manager. Its main role is, see, firewall or FortiGate main role is to protect your network. Let's say you have a firewall. You have an application hosted in a data center which is in trust network. Someone wants to access from untrust network. Or let's say someone sitting on trust network wants to connect someone into untrust. Firewall is used to protect your one network from attacks or threats. It is applied either on, you will see firewall might be deployed in parameter level so that it protects your whole network. But when I talk about F5 advanced WAF, that is totally based on layer 7 attacks. Or I can say simply say that cyber security attacks. And you might have been heard about a term called OWASP top 10. So today's world, guys, anyone on the internet coming as an hacker wants to access your application. Let's say this is F5 and this is an application called abc.com that is hosted on your servers behind this. But you want to make sure that this application is protected from external threats or external malware or external attacks, I can say. I want to protect. I have an apply. Let's say today, one of the student built his website called SIANETS.com, and that is hosted behind your load balancer. He wants that application should be 24 into 7 accessible. That whenever I access this application on browser, it should be accessible 24 into 7. Second thing, guys, what company nowadays wants is security. That my website should be fully protected. No one can hack it. And third one is availability or scalability also you can say. That is what your F5 provides, guys. That is where F5 load balancer comes into picture a lot, guys. Okay, so now let's go further on why load balancer came into picture and how it is. So if I talk about F5 deployment architecture in production, guys, first of all, you should know what is a load balancer. In my production environment where this picture comes into. So load balancer can be deployed as a layer 4 device or it can be deployed as layer 7 also. Nowadays you have multiple application, right? Which you want to be accessible from internet. But what will happen? One scenario for you. Let's say I have multiple people over internet, guys, coming to access my application, which is hosted on F5. And I have one server. So this server is actual server where your application is hosted. See, when you access google.com, aws.com, sianets.com, that website might be hosted somewhere, right? That is where it is called actual server where it is hosted. Now, I have server capability to handle 100 requests per second. But I have multiple users who wants to access and request come to F5. 200 requests have been come, but this server can handle only 100 requests. What will happen, guys? I have multiple users coming from internet. Let's say client 1, client 2, client 3, client 4, client 5, client 6, who wants to access application hosted on internet, which is on load balancer. But this server can handle 100 requests. What will happen, guys? Anyone? That is where load balancer role will be crucial. If you understand this scenario, then you will understand why load balancer is required. Load means customer request. Multiple request is a load. Balancer means balancing of request across multiple servers so that one server does not become overload. In this case, guys, issues will come if this server goes down. Your application will be not accessible. My first requirement of the customer was I want my application to be 24 into 7 accessible. But if the server goes down, my application will not be accessible. In that case, what I require, guys? Another server, redundancy. That is where load balancer comes into picture. Another issue will be slowness. When you have one server who can handle a load, in that case, there will be a slowness issue, guys. So in this case, what always everyone suggests is to increase servers. So in that, how the setup is, you have F5, you have multiple clients here coming from internet, then you have multiple servers hosting same application. This will be listening on 80. Let's say if it's a web application means which is accessible on internet on web page. Most of the application nowadays are deploying on HTTPS or HTTP. That term is called web app. And these are sometimes some people say it's an app server. Some people say these are web server also. So you need to understand logic. If you understand the basic guys for any concept, whether automation, cloud, load balancer, firewall, then you can learn according to your demand. If your basics are not clear, then that will not help you. Okay. Now, in that case, what will happen? SIANETS.com will be here also hosted. Same application will be hosted. on server 2 also and server 3 also. So even if this server goes down, what will happen? Request comes to is that, hey, I want to access sianets.com. sianets.com will have one IP address that is called DNS resolution. That will happen. Then it will get one IP, client will hit your website. It will either go to server 1, server 2, or server 3. It will get load balance. So simple diagram, client 1, client 2, client 3, then the load balancer, then you have server 1, server 2, server 3. Load balancer role is to make sure my application connets.com is 24 into 7 available. Even if this server goes down, they might, because these are still up, your client will be happy because they are able to access. But what will happen? Load balancer means load customer request, balancer means balance of the load. Some request of client goes here, this client request might be go here, this client request might go here. So this term is called load balancer again, and it is a part of your local traffic manager. Anyone can tell me what is the meaning of local traffic manager? Why LTM is called local traffic? This is a favorite interview question which many people will ask. Why it is called local traffic manager, guys? Anyone? Because your F5 is also hosted on same data center, let's say US. Your application servers are also hosted on same data center that is called US. That is called local. Your application is hosted on same data center. When I talk about global traffic manager, your same application can be hosted in US, UK, Australia. This is within data center LTM, but GTM or application can widespread globally. And F5 load balancer, if someone asks you the term, load balancer is used to distribute load equally from client. That is the main term of distribution of your client request across multiple servers, guys. Even if this server goes down. Now next question is how F5 will distribute a load. I have multiple client coming from internet. Let's say this client wants to connect to sianets.com. So how F5 will make sure that it can go to this server or this server? Who will decide this? F5 will decide, but what is the concept in F5? Who will decide that whether client 1 when wants to connect to this should go to server 1, server 2 or server 3? I want equal distribution. If 10 requests are coming here, 10 requests should come here, 10 requests should come here. So that equal distribution of traffic happens. But my question is, who will decide in F5 that this client request should go to server 1? This client request, if he wants to connect to sianets.com, it should go to server 3. That is where a very, very important concept comes is load balancing algo. That is very, very huge in demand. You should know when you study load balancer, this concept you should know what is load balancing algo. That is the basic concept of load balancer plus load balancing I'll go. Okay. Now we'll move further on. So what is the operating system? That is also an important question which comes into picture. So operating system used in F5 is TMOS. That is called Traffic Management Operating System, guys. In Linux or in Juniper, that is called Junus. In Cisco, that is called iOS. The same concept in F5 is called Traffic Management Operating System. And the very good idea F5 is providing you 30 days free license. You just go here, how to install 30 days free license. Go to 30 days license and F5. Go to product trial. You need to just get a license and you start doing your lab on your laptop. You just go here, go to this F5 Big IP Virtual Edition. Click here, get the free trial now. You just need to register if you're not a part of F5. You just register by your email ID. Okay, I will show you. After that, you need to register. If you have already your email ID, just click on back to sign in. You just say email ID. Just enter the password. Very easy. That is how you can get 30 days license. So you will get one passcode authentication. So I'll just send the code. So I will get one notification on my email ID that is called one time verification code. So I will check that my verification code is 833579. I will click on verify. So I'm telling you how you can get the free license and you can make any lab easy for you. Now it will open your here. You just need to select your account, go to trials and request for new trial. It can take 2 to 3 days. Always do license request Monday to Friday in evening hours. So that because F5 company is in US and try to fill your company name original. If you fill your company name original, you will get license easily. Plus your information correct. No fake information, guys. You will get license easily. Here you will get. Right now I might have requested, so it's giving me pending approval. Either you need to request it. Once you get a license, guys, then you can just deploy a VMware where I'll be showing you all the images. That is called OVA image. So it will be looking like this. You will access like this, F5, login, you will get it. So everything will be done like what is the first step? You get a license, you configure management IP. So you need an F5 image that is called OVA image. Plus you need 3 servers. So I'll be using 3 servers for showing you the load balancer. First server I will show red, green. That item is red, green, blue servers. That is the servers where your application is hosted. So you will get an management IP. Default username and password for this is admin. That is a GUI credential. So I'll be doing all the concepts through GUI also and CLI also. So don't worry on that part. because when you want to be good in troubleshooting, you should be good in CLI. So I log in, and this is how your F5 looks like. And how you can see the license, you just go to System tab, just go to License. See, today I have applied a license, and that is for 30 days. You can do any lab. Once your 30 days expire, then you can request for another license using another email ID. And that is called evolution license. Free trial. Every feature is available. ASM, GTM, LTM. See guys, F5 is a company which is having a operating system called TMOS. And all your modules, whether LTM, GTM, ASM, or APM, that is security module, load balancer, or DNS module, all are part of your TMOS and all uses your same license. Only requirement is you need to ask customer whether they only want to use LTM, GTM, or ASM or APM. According to that, F5 will provide you a license copy. Only that thing you need to take care. That is called resource provisioning, that I will show you in live class. And that is how your F5 looks like. You can do any lab, you can upgrade your F5 before doing in production. You can do high availability, that is covered. If you want to do any migration, let's say you need to do any migration live, that you are in one box which is i2800 and you need to upgrade to i3600, that you can do. You can do box to box migration from VMware to hardware. So that all concepts will be covering. So that was how the console looks like. And here, if I go to resource provisioning, guys, here you can see different modules. Let's say I don't want to use ASM module. I only want to use LTM module. Because in my company, they only want load balancer, no security or GTM module. So I will just select LTM here and just it will restart your services. So it's showing that some of their virtual servers are already using the policy. So I will remove that. So this is how you can ask your customer what service they want. Whether they only want a simple load balancer layer 4, layer 7, or they want a WAF module, security module. Also, they want any DNS intelligent resolution solution. And according to that, you need to configure. There is a concept called resource provisioning, guys. So how you go? You go to System tab, Resource Provisioning. Just select LTM, submit. And trust me, everything will be live, guys. That is how you can show your experience, that you are working in a production environment. Some people say how I can show. That is how you can show them. And now your service will be restarting. Okay. Meanwhile, let's say it comes into picture. Let's discuss about some other topics on F5 architecture. So when I talk about guys F5 basics, architecture or introduction, I told you that F5 is a company which started in by US people, and they started with a product called local traffic manager, and they have an operating system that is called TMOS. Okay, that is the first term you need to be understanding. Now, if I talk about guys, who can attend this training guys. So anyone who is a network engineer, who has a good knowledge of CCNA, or I can say OSI knowledge, that can attend. Who is looking for F5 good knowledge practically, plus who are looking to increase their skill can attend this. So networking basics, you will not spend much time. I will be covering basics like VLAN and all, but my main focus will be on F5 product that is called LTM. And my role would be you will be able to clear 101, 201, and 301 exam after this. And myself, guys, I have been certified in this all modules till 304. I've been working in this product over 12 years, and I have YouTube channel and all. Plus, you can reach out to me anytime, Monday to Friday, 7 to 8, for any questions. Okay, and I'll be providing my full support till you clear your certification or until you crack your interview. That is my main agenda, guys. And the topics. Now, let me just tell you little concepts how this is deployed in production. Let me go to. So this is how F5 big modules comes into picture. LTM, DNS, ASM, APM. And people have concern. F5 can you deploy in cloud also? Yeah. You can deploy hardware also? Yeah. You can deploy in virtual edition. So F5 can be deployed in virtual edition, physical hardware also, plus hybrid. This is your virtual edition throughput. This is your hardware series. Guys, whenever I take an interview and to test whether this person is working on F5 or not, what is my first question? If I want to test your knowledge that you are working in this product, what would be my first question which I can ask? Anyone? Any guesses? My first question will be, can you tell me which models you have worked or which series boxes you have worked in production environment? If you tell this, 20 to 30%, I will sure that you're working on F5 product. That is the question which I will ask. And people ask this question. See, some people, if want to look knowledge, they will ask this guys. And they know that you might be working heavier on F5, but basic questions some people forget to answer. That is where I am starting from beginning and saying this. So this is how your platform looks like. Now, there are two picture representations here. Can anyone tell me the difference between picture 1 and picture 2? And what is the disadvantage here? What I will do, let's make it little interactive today rather than demo. You might be finding my quality. You must have understand in 15 to 20 minutes how I teach, okay? So don't worry on that part. My guarantee that I'll make you expert till F5 level. 100% you can crack any interview plus work in production. That guarantee I give. It's your choice. Now I'll just unmute you all and let's discuss little bit logic behind this. I'll request one by one. Don't be shout. I'll ask questions. Just teaching this in a way like how I teach it. So, what is the difference between? I will mark this picture as picture one,
Picture one.
and this
And
one is picture two. So, anyone tell me the difference between this picture one and picture two? Any one of you? What
Sir,
is
in
the
the
difference?
Hi, this is Naveen. In first picture, the internet user is requesting only on one server. Request is going to only one server, but in second picture, the request is divided with multiple servers. The load
So, what does
balancing
it
is
explains? What does explain here? Load balancing is happening or not?
no here. No, in first picture, load balancing is not happening.
Excellent. What is the disadvantage in that case, Naveen?
The disadvantage is if the server will goes down, the user will not able to access the application or any website
So, can I
or
say that here 24 into 7 availability cannot be possible?
yes.
What is second disadvantage?
Second disadvantage is, if any server will goes down, you will not able to get alert and all
That you
that.
have told me
Hello.
that if any server goes down, there is no backup.
Yeah, there is
Yeah,
no
there is no
backup.
Another disadvantage I am looking.
the slowness. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Slowness issues. You might be facing issues. Many people are working like I have been seeing many issues where slowness issues comes into picture that hey, uh, application owner or app customer is saying slowness. You need to prove it. So one proof method it's a Wireshark tool which we can tell. But there are some other things which you can tell them. But now if I say that now your load balancer came into picture, in that case this redundancy problem is resolved. So if someone asks you what are the three advantage of load balancer, can someone tell me three advantage of F5 load balancer? Why I should use? So guys, these are the live questions which I
Question
am
which I am
asking.
asking.
Hi,
So
I joined late actually. I just have a couple of queries with
no
respect.
problem,
No
sir.
problem,
Let
sir.
I
Let
will
I will
take it
take it
after
after.
10 to 15 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm just continuing just an interactive session. So
So
Okay, okay.
sir,
just
first,
anyone
sir,
one
first
yeah,
advantage.
first
Yeah, Jay.
advantage will be that any one server does not get exhausted. If we
Excellent.
get huge traffic, it will get distributed to all the servers.
So load balancer advantage is equal distribution of traffic. What is second advantage?
The 24 into 7 service,
That is
what will
called
be there?
availability in F5 term. Third advantage,
local traffic management.
no, that is not an advantage. That is the full form of LTM. Advantage means you
any
should
server
convince
will goes
customer.
down. In that case, we will get to
Redundancy.
know. We will get the redundancy on that.
Redundancy is there here, comes into here or here. Availability, both are come. I'm looking for some word another.
So application aware traffic load balancing.
That is also you can say, but that comes under profiles. Yeah, that can I can say that F5 is aware of your application, but the
Yep.
advantage I'm looking more is security purpose. Can anyone tell me why there is a security here? Anyone? I can see
Sir,
many
this is
security in this.
Any DOS attacks will be stopped.
uh, sir. The client will not facing. I mean, not seeing the actual application server.
Excellent.
So
Excellent. So can I say F5 is acting as a proxy device?
proxy.
That is the advantage. Your servers are not directly interacting with client. Client will see your website. Website will be coming from somewhere on your website. So anyone can tell me where this, when I access any web page, where it is hosted exactly? You should know basics, where it is exactly hosting. Is it hosting on F5 or is it hosting on servers?
The
Layer
website,
server.
the
Excellent.
server.
So why F5 is coming? So F5 is virtual. So here I want to discuss three terms when you deploy F5 from beginning. So there is a concept which comes into picture called virtual IP. Every time you will install F5 in your company, you need to configure virtual IP. Second concept, you need to configure pool members. Third concept which you need to configure is pool. So what is virtual IP, guys? Virtual IP is nothing but your FQDN of your website. So now if I say one question for you, it's a basic interview question which you might have faced so far. You are sitting on internet, you are accessing SIANETS.com. What will happen first? Handshake or DNS? You want
DNS.
to access
DNS.
SIANETS.com. What will happen first?
DNS. Sir.
DNS,
DNS resolution.
If DNS resolution is not working fine, what will happen? What will customer face in his when he accessed on browser? What is the first troubleshooting step you will do to make sure that it's a DNS issue or it's a TCP handshake issue? What you will
We will
Yeah,
try to resolve the hostname FQDN.
what you will ask customer to do to
NS lookup.
NS lookup.
excellent. What it will give you?
It will give me either it is resolving or not.
Can I say DNS name into IP resolution?
Yes.
Yes.
Once you get an IP address, that is called your virtual IP. And if your application is hosted on web, that can either be your 80 or 443. Do you
Yes.
deploy application on 80 or 443 nowadays? When customer says that I want to deploy my application which is accessible over internet, will you suggest him 80 or 443?
443, sir.
443
Why you don't suggest 80?
because it is not secure.
Not encrypted.
Okay, excellent. So always your application should be HTTPS. And what make it secure? We know that 443, but what exactly inside it is which is making it secure? Anyone?
It is
SSL.
encrypted.
SSL.
Can I say cryptography term? I will say your definition is correct. There is a term called SSL. What comes under SSL? Certificates and keys.
Certificate.
That is called encryption and decryptions. So that is what it makes your plain text encrypted. So no one can read the data which is coming from client to F5. And here in the picture, simple scenario, there is a load balancer where I have configured web. Let's say this is my website IP. After that, once your IP's resolution happens, what next step it will do? Anyone?
Three-way handshake.
Once a DNS resolution happens, what is the next step?
Three-way handshake.
Three-way handshake.
Okay, what will happen in three-way handshake? Is there any chance of failure of three-way handshake? Anyone?
Yes. In case
What
client
would
will
be
send a
chance?
request.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Try. See, it's not in live interview. That is how
Before
people
three-way
ask
handshake
questions.
SSL confirmation, I'm not
Sir,
sure.
did I say SSL right now? We are only on this point.
Okay, sorry.
Be crisp. You need to be exact on the words of interview. So in three-way handshake, what are the chances of failure? Any chances of failure happens? Let's say customer
Sir,
says that I'm not able to access website. What are the chances?
a
Customer
firewall in between which is blocking the traffic, the port.
excellent, excellent.
Uh,
Firewall, I will come into that picture topology, but that is the first picture. If firewall is coming into picture, you need to have a policy, correct?
Yep.
What should be
Correct.
the policy? Let's say between client and F5 there is a firewall, then there is a switch, then there is a server. That is a live topology which you have in deployment scenario. So what would be the source IP in firewall? Let's say this is internet traffic.
Sir,
Destination is this. What is the source IP on firewall
the
when you
client
open a
IP, sir.
policy?
So source
Client
IP would
IP
be
or
any
can I say
destination
untrust
IP.
IP?
Yeah.
Any IP? Can I say any?
Any IP.
Uh,
Okay, destination IP.
VIP.
Are you sure it's a VIP IP or server IP? Anyone?
No, it's a VIP IP, sir.
Great. Do we need any netting? Yeah, VIP IP is correct. Answer is 100% correct. Do I need netting on firewall?
Yes.
from netting required to access is public.
Now let's say there are scenarios. Anyone can help me. There are two scenarios which generally I found in a production. Most of the internet applications are deployed in DMZ. Why? Can anyone tell me why most of the applications are deployed in DMZ?
Because it is in
It can be
those are
accessible from the internet.
Okay. So that you need to keep separate network which should not impact your internal network, correct?
Correct.
Or intranet, I can say. Any other
Those
answer?
those are the internet facing servers.
Excellent. What is the full form of DNZ?
Demilitarized zone.
zone.
And in that case, do I really need a firewall? Can I have a
Yeah, we
DMZ
need a
network?
firewall. We have to create one separate zone,
Yes.
separate policy for that.
Yes.
No, sir.
of
Let's
course.
say if I don't have a firewall, can I not deploy firewalls, F5 and servers? Is it not possible? Because that is a separate network, right? Public facing application, I have deployed a zone. My F5 is deployed in DMZ network. Do I still need a firewall?
Firewall basically we need for providing security so that the other network should
So
not be
there are no
affected
other
by our
zones.
network.
I'm saying only DMZ zone I have. My
And
applications are also.
we can deploy it, but how the netting how it will happen without firewall?
You
Or
need to public a DNS resolution you can do, right? You can share your web IP publicly. Netting, does it really required? Why netting is required? Anyone?
So to
if some
translate from private to public or public to private.
Netting is only required when firewall comes into picture where you want to hide your F5 applications might be internal. You don't want to highlight their private IPs. So that's why firewall has a capability to do DNet. My question was if firewall is not there, can I still apply netting? No. In that case, netting is not required because it's a DMZ network. But sometimes DMZ networks are not there. In that case, that is how the traffic flows. You have multiple servers connecting to switch. It can be layer 2 or layer 3. So in that case, TCP handshake, what is the chances of failure? Anyone? Why TCP handshake can get fail?
Routing, sir. Routing issues.
Okay, correct. And second thing is maybe VIP is not created. That
Yes.
virtual IP on F5 might not be created. That is another issue. Third issue, anyone can tell. Maybe your servers are down.
Yeah. Port is not listening.
Correct. When servers are down, your VIP will be so traffic will be like this, guys. Again, I am saying this LTM is a virtual network. VIP is a virtual IP. Let's say I have server 1, which is having IP 10.2.2.30, server 2, which is having 10.2.2.31, server 3, which is having 10.2.2.32. Now I have a F5 virtual IP where I have allocated one pool with these 3 servers. If all these servers are down, your virtual server will be down. Mean three-way handshake is fail. Now that is the scenario. Now your DNS resolution done. Three-way handshake successful. What is the next step if it's an HTTPS based application? Anyone?
SSL
Excellent. SSL, what SSL?
handshake.
Correct. What will be done in that case? Why SSL handshake is needed?
Uh, for the
The thing
intake,
is, it will create a secure tunnel.
What will happen inside the packet?
they will be exchanging the certificates and the keys, which would be requiring for the encryption and the
Are you
decryption of
sure?
the data.
Are you sure 100% on that?
Yes.
Anyone else? What happens in SSL handshake? Have you heard about the term client hello, server hello?
Yes.
What will happen? Have you heard about ciphers and protocols, TLS? So there
Yes.
will be cipher exchange happens. That is the answer people look if you're an experienced person. Anyone can teach you load balancer, but that is how I teach. So that you can understand the exam point of view, the face of the trouble which they ask. So everyone knows that certificate exchange will happen, everything will happen. But when SSL handshake failure happens, what is the main issue? Has anyone observed? I have seen many issues where SSL handshake happens. SSL handshake is not building properly. What are the issues which happens? Why
Sometimes
SSL? Yeah,
TLS
go ahead.
version mismatch, ciphers mismatch.
Excellent. What is TLS version mismatch happens?
Let's say
How
client and
you
server,
check it?
the client and server would be negotiating to some sort of ciphers.
So cipher is a separate term. Right now we are talking on TLS protocol. How you will check what client is sending? How you will come to know that there is a TLS protocol mismatch happen? Anyone? Let's say
Hello.
my F5 is only supporting TLS 1.2. Okay. My virtual server has a configuration which is only supporting TLS 1.2. But client does not have their browser updated or not supporting. He might be sending TLS 1.1. How I will check in F5 that how I will come to know that client is sending TLS 1.1?
Vaishak.
Sorry?
Vaishak.
Yeah, correct. That is the answer. Through packet capture, I will observe. Then accordingly, you will troubleshoot. You will need to tell them that, hey, there is a mismatch. Does it, I need end-to-end encryption or this encryption can also work? Now here, guys, one term you need to understand. There are two connection here. One is client to F5. One is F5 to servers. That is where separate client and server connection comes into picture. This connection does not have any dependency on this. So once three-way handshake is successful, SSL handshake is happen, the fourth packet is HTTP GET. Why I need HTTP GET and response? What does it mean, guys? Anyone? What does it tell you? Why I need a HTTP protocol here? Why HTTP the protocol coming into picture here? Anyone?
Because once TCP handshake happen, SSL handshake happen, after that HTTP will request.
Because my application is hosted on layer 7. I'm accessing my browser, my website on browser, and this is, let's say my application is not HTTP or HTTPS. Does I need HTTP GET or response? No. So there can be layer 4 load balancer, there can be layer 7 load balancer. That you will come to know in which case you need only layer 4, in which case you need layer 7. And that is a full proxy that will show you. And this is how your operating system looks like. Here I want to tell you very important term. This is all your data traffic. Does anyone know about data plane and control plane? Why nowadays people are having building technologies where they are having two planes? What is the logic? What is the advantage?
So that
Anyone?
one plane, so that there will be no interference. Like control plane will be handling the management traffic, and the data plane will be handling the user traffic.
That is the definition. But what advantage does it do?
Both the planes, I guess, will run parallelly.
Okay, but what is the advantage?
Even if the control plane fails, the data will be not interrupted.
Excellent. Even your management IP is not accessible, it does not mean that your applications are down. That is the answer. You should answer it. It does not mean even, let's say, your data switch is down or data plane is down, still your F5 will be accessible. Am I correct or wrong? Anyone here? Even my data ports are down. Like F5 has a data port and management port. If data port down, still I will be able to access my management IP. Is it correct word or not?
Yes.
So that is the advantage of data plane and control plane. This traffic all is on data, TMOS, and this is all your admin task like GUI, CLI, you can see that. And all your SSL hardware, it has a separate SSL engine, compression engine, full proxy. I rule will come across when I'll talk about the traffic flow. So that is about TMOS operating system. And this is the difference between LTM and GTM.